Alright, hey y'all, this is Hunter Van Houten with Van Houten Builds. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we are in a new space, a very tiny space, but this is my new garage. It's quite small. I haven't done a lot of setup to it yet. We're working on it. It's getting there. It's got a lot of built-in storage, which is a plus. The 65 is in the garage currently with no room to spare. Literally, it is pretty much almost touching the garage door over there and touching the end of the workbench over here, which kind of sucks, but that's okay because we're pretty much finished up for the most part with the 65. It needs a few things which we're going to jump into today and we're going to knock out, like the distributor. I'm going to put in a new distributor because thanks to one of you guys letting me know, I didn't know I needed a steel gear as opposed to a cast iron gear, so I could not reuse the same distributor or I had to switch out the gear. So I ordered a new distributor with a melanized steel gear. So that should hopefully take care of the problem of having a cast iron gear. It doesn't go with a roller cam. So yeah, that would just chew everything up. So we haven't really been driving it much. I haven't driven it much at all, just like around the block. Gonna take you guys on like the first real drive. So we're gonna swap that out today. Gotta also swap out the neutral safety switch because it is starting to go. So I ordered a new one of those. I gotta go through and I'm gonna also redo the springs. So all new front suspension. We'll be getting that soon. Also, I unfortunately had to sell the 68 because the 68 convertible Mustang didn't have any room. Literally no room. We have no driveway either. It's crazy. Like the driveway is like a 6-foot hill into the garage just from the street. So unfortunately, there was nowhere literally to put the 68 because it was not running and driving yet. So I had to sell it, which sucks. But we are gonna get a new project. I already actually got something in mind. Working on a deal right now for the next project. And I think you guys are gonna like it. It should be something pretty fun. Anyways, now that we've gotten all that out of the way. Oh, and also one more thing. It smells like weird old people in here. I don't even know how to describe it. It just smells gross. So I got an ozone generator here, which I'm gonna hook up and gonna take all the smell out of this place because it's gross. So yeah, before we get started though, be sure you give me a like on this video, subscribe to my channel, and set your bell notifications if you haven't done that already. It really, really helps my channel. So I appreciate all that, guys. And since you're doing that as a thank you, we're just gonna keep trucking on, keep working on car projects and doing all that. And I hope to give you guys, you know, as many videos as I can, just with good content, good fun. All right, let's jump in. All right, y'all, don't know how this is gonna be. Ordered it from CJ Pony. I'm sure it's fine. It's kind of hard to find these with the steel gear on them already because a lot of people just go a different route. They're not, setup is kind of weird since it's a roller block and I'm set it up with carburetor. This should be a replacement, an exact replacement. Oh, TBD, TDC. Okay, so this is a Cardone, nothing fancy, nothing special, but just a plain distributor. We are going to throw this bad boy in. This is super weird. This should just pop right out. And for some reason, it does not want to come out. It is just like stuck. This is weird. This is really weird. I'm trying to twist it and shake it and wiggle it. You know what's gonna be the most insane thing too? Is if I end up taking this distributor out and it already has a steel gear in it, I'm gonna be pissed. So, I don't know what to do. This is crazy. It is like stuck. It is like hooked on something and will not come out. You guys ever come across this before? Because this is weird. Let's go. Get out of there. Oh my God, I got it. Had to use a crowbar to get that out. That was crazy. Let's inspect everything though and make sure we're all good. All right, y'all, so good thing we're swapping this because this does look like it's a cast iron gear, which I don't think you can see in this terrible lighting. But yeah, this looks like a cast iron gear here. This is the old one, flat tappet hydraulic lifter cam that was in the last engine, so we cannot reuse that. Once again, thank you so much to the followers that have called this out because I had no idea. So that's really good to know. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure everything is in a good place and then just do a swap-a-rooney here. We are gonna swap out the electronic ignition on this guy, the old guy, because it's still really good. It's not old. Gonna pop it in here and get rid of the points. And then we're gonna swap this sucker out. We should be good to go. Everything looks like it lines up. Got the melanized steel gear on here with the roller cam, so we should be good. So yeah, let's ditch the points. We're gonna keep the ground on this one and then just swap in the electronic ignition. Okie dokie, let's do it. First off, I have a Cars and Coffee event that I was gonna try to go to this Saturday. And we are 3 days away, so I wanted to like get a distributor and get it running so I could go to that event because I haven't gotten to drive the car at all and it's driving me crazy, and it's been 3 years, so it's nuts. We ordered from Jags because it was the best deal that I could find. I ordered a new distributor, and the new distributor is a Pertronix flamethrower, and it's basically what we had, just with the electronic ignition in and the correct size steel gear, not cast iron gear. This is supposed to look like old school distributor setup, which is what I wanted, but it has the melanized or just steel gear. So let's get this in the car and start it up, see if we can get the timing set back to where it's supposed to be. So I went ahead and set a little mark right here just to where I knew that one was this way, pointing, you know, where the cap was, so that way I can keep it aligned. All right, so I'm just putting on some assembly lube just so we're not running the gear dry, because that is not what we want to do. All right, let's drop this sucker in and hope for the best here. Find your home, guy. Come on. Oh, no, we want to go like this. Oh, yes. Got it, guys. Got it. Right in. Perfecto. Okay, guys, here goes nothing. All right, guys, so check this out. Here's where we are. It's kind of gotten crazy. Getting a little out of control with these distributors and all the situation, but let me explain. So first off, we could not use this original old Motorcraft distributor that I had in the old 302. And the reason why we cannot use that, thank you so much to one of the subscribers, actually 2 of them called out that you can't use this because they said you have a cast iron gear or you had to swap the gear, and I didn't know that. I had no idea. So thank you so much to the subscribers that called that out, because otherwise I'd just be rolling with this thing and it would not be good down the road. So I did run it for just like a little bit with it just to get it over to the new garage, etc. And it did fine. No, you know, nothing bent on it or chewed up or anything. But if you're gonna run a roller cam, you have to have a steel gear apparently, or you can run like a brass gear or something like that, but I think you can only do that up to like 7,000 miles. So I think that's more for like performance oriented runs. So if you're like racing and whatnot, I don't know. But anyways, so what I've had trouble doing is finding a steel gear that goes on here to replace this, because all of the steel gears that they make aftermarket for these type of distributors apparently are like slightly off. This is like a 0.467 diameter shaft here, and when the inside of the diameter is just like slightly off, it's supposed to be a press fit, by the way. And a lot of them, the aftermarket ones I was reading reviews on, that you take this off, the gear off, and it's not press fit. So that's unfortunate. We want press fit because we want it to lock in there really nice. You have to put this pin in you know, but still we don't want it to be held on just loosey-goosey by the pin. And the reason I wanted to reuse this is because I have the Pertronix electric igniter in it, and I was using that on my old engine, and it works great, it runs great. So with all that said, I was like, you know what, I'll just order a Pertronix distributor, just straight from Pertronix, have it all set up, ready to go. It has the igniter already in it. It's got the steel gear. It's basically just like a cheap Cardone body, I guess, or housing or whatever. It's got the igniter LS already in here. So I ordered this from Pertronix, and it just so happened that after I did all these tests, because I wasn't getting any spark or anything like that, I did all these tests on it and found out that the igniter in it is bad. So I've got to return this, unfortunately. Kind of sucks, but I just did that so I could like get the thing on the road rather than trying to hunt down a steel gear for my distributor. What I did is, in the meantime, I thought, you know what? Just to get up and running, hey, for like 80 bucks, I could just go get a new distributor that had a steel gear and swap the igniter from my old distributor into it. So I got this Cardone distributor number 3. It has a steel gear, melanized steel gear, which is good. So you can tell, you can see, this is steel, this is cast iron. But the problem is that you can't swap it, unfortunately, because of this little feature. The Igniter 1, which is what I had, it requires this magnet sleeve right here, and that goes over the rotor on the inside right here, this piece, and it's got to lock in. So it locks in and it fits really nice, and then that spins, which then in turn, you know, works with the igniter. So I got this Cardone distributor, but the magnet sleeve doesn't fit on it. It just spins because this piece is way smaller than this piece. So the lobes are, I guess it's just like a smaller radius. With that said, I was just going to return everything, try and find a steel gear, make it work, because I couldn't take the steel gear off of here because the inside diameter of this is different from the inside diameter of this, unfortunately. So they are not interchangeable, which sucks. I just so happened to be looking on Facebook Marketplace last night and saw somebody was selling an Igniter 3 by Pertronix on Facebook Marketplace, and they were selling it for like 220 bucks or something. And I was like, would you take 120 for it? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, great. So this is unused, brand new. And this is what Pertronix told me I need if I want to run the Cardone or anything modern, more modern, I guess, not original, and afford, because what it does is it is lobe sensing. So the magnet automatically on this senses the lobes as it spins around. Like these little pieces, if you can see, those are lobes. So it senses that automatically without having to have a magnet sleeve on anything. So we're gonna try that and pray and hope and pray that it works, because I am so ready to get this thing on the road, and this has been a headache over the last like week and a half. I had a buddy here trying to help me figure out what was going on, and that's when we determined that the igniter in the Pertronix flamethrower was dead. So I was only getting 4.3 volts out of it, and it should be running 12, 5 or whatever the battery's at. If you're running into the same thing and you're swapping your 302, to a roller block, and you got to convert it, you can go one of two routes. You can go this route, which is kind of annoying, or you can throw in a distributor from like a Fox body, so like a Duraspark or something like that, or Duralast. It'll have like the male ends on the top of the distributor cap, and then you have to run an ignition box. And the ignition box and the distributor, you could do like MSD too if you wanted to, but that gets so expensive, guys. It's crazy. I mean, like those distributors and shit are like, they're like $400 or $500, which is insane. That's like a quarter of my engine build cost, of my rebuild. So no, that's just dumb. So we're just trying to do everything we can for less than that before we have to go that route. And hopefully we don't have to go that route. And I got some company in the garage today. Say hello, Miss Olive. Yeah, she's sweetie pie. She's just here hanging out with me today. Hey, how you doing? She's sweet puppy dog. Good shop pup. Best shop pup ever. Besides Petey. All right, so let's pop this out. It's just basically 2 screws for the points. Actually 3, because we got to take the condenser out. I forgot about that. So we got this one. And remember where our ground is here too. All right, and then we'll take our condenser off. All right, there's our points out and to the side. Let's actually take this vacuum advance piece off first. There's this little piece right here that we gotta pop out. There we go. Keep that. Don't lose this piece. Keep that, because that sticks on our vacuum advance. All right, so now we're gonna get the breaker plate out. Let's keep that screw and our ground and this screw. Okay, there we go. Taking our vacuum advance off. All right, now we'll take off our breaker plate. If it'll come off. There it is. All right, sweet. And that's what the inside of our distributor looks like. So breaker plate is off, and it was sitting on it just like that. Now we can take our new guy here. Guess we put it on like this. I don't know. Oh, like that. It can only go on one way, I guess, because of the way that the screw holes sit. Okay, perfect. So we'll do one first, and then we've got to spin this around so we can do the other one. Otherwise, we just can't reach it. So, okay. So what we need to do is we have to use this flathead for one side because it's countersunk right here. So we've got to use the flathead here. All right, so I put the ground on this one. And I'm screwing that in. So basically what happens here is every time this spins, the igniter 3 here catches, it sees that that's a lobe, lobe, lobe. So it knows when to fire, and it doesn't need the magnet. It just senses the lobe movement here, which is pretty cool actually. Yeah, this is the igniter 3. It's got a built-in rev limiter apparently, which I think it's automatically supposed to be set at 5,500 RPM, and then you can adjust it up to I think 9,000, and I don't know, I think it goes down to like 4,000 or something. But we're gonna leave it at 55 right now, and then we'll make adjustments later. You can adjust it later if you need. Yeah, we're gonna pop this in right here. So this was, aha, I'm glad they put the little red mark here. So we know this goes on here like this, and then we can pop this back on. Sweet. All right, how we're gonna put this in, we're gonna go straight in with it like this, and we want our vacuum advance pointing out this direction, and then we're gonna actually spin the rotor this way because this is where our number 1 plug is that we have connected. And your one can be wherever, it's just this, you know, it's where we start. So I'm pointed this way because this is where our number 1 plug is on our cap right here. So we want to try and get it as close to this direction as possible when we drop it in. And hopefully it doesn't fight us too much going in. Oh. Come on. It's close. Come on. It wants to. There it goes. I'm gonna put the stop right in here. And this is basically just to keep our distributor held down. And it doesn't have to be super tight because we're gonna have to set our timing and change the advance, etc. So, you know, we want to be able to spin this. We just want it like hand tight. Oh boy. Ooh, she wants to start. No, she needs some love. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. Do I not have something hooked up? So close. Yep. Okay, so we're getting spark. That's a good sign. right, guys, so I'm gonna leave it there for tonight and let the battery charge back up because we kind of wore it down a bit trying to crank it over and over again. So I'm gonna do that and then come back with, I don't know, a fresh outlook on things tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it won't turn over. The timing is right. I feel like I advanced it, still couldn't get it to kick over. We're getting spark. I checked for spark. We have spark from the coil to the plugs everywhere. So I don't know what's going on. Get back to it tomorrow. So stay tuned. We'll get it running. We will get it running. I promise, because this is not going to be sitting in the garage. It's got to get running. I'm ready to drive this fucking thing. All right, y'all. So I rewired the whole spark plug setup. I made sure I had it wired correctly. I think what a problem was timing, and that's why we weren't starting, unfortunately, because I had it wired up for the original like 302 like older block, and I think we had, since mine is an 88 roller, the firing order is different. I was setting it as the 154-26-378, which is like the OG traditional 302 non-HO engine firing order, and it needs to be the 137-26548 firing order. I ended up doing that and got it to kick over for a second, but I had to advance the distributor like all the way. So I'm gonna pull my timing light out. I think it needs to warm up first because it will not idle at the moment. So I don't know what's going on. Everything was set and good before I swapped the distributor out on the carb. The carb was tuned. It was great. New components involved, obviously. So I'm going to break out the timing light. I got this timing light from Harbor Freight. It was super cheap. It's the cheapest one they had. Thought I'd give it a try. Xenon timing light. I don't know. Syntec. Yeah, we'll see. I can hear something rattling around in there. That's not good. Maybe sand. How we do this is we plug this guy in like this, and then we use the black goes to the negative of the battery and the red goes to the positive terminal, and then this little piece clips on spark plug number 1, this little piece. So that is how we're gonna do it. Okay, and then try not to get caught up in the, let's stretch these out, because okay, and then we have our timing light here where we can see, and then that way we can advance or whatever on the distributor. Never done this before, y'all, so you're here with me for the first time doing this. Figure I gotta learn it, so.
Hey, wanna hear the most annoying sound in the world? Even that!
Running rough, but she's running. I feel like something's not right. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Flashback.
All right, y'all. So I am gonna polish up the car now. we've gotten to the point where we are just ready to get it all nice and shiny. I don't know if you can see those haziness swirl marks. I'm sure you can. Looks a little cloudy. There was some like contaminants basically on the surface, I think, from just the painting that I've done in the garage and like just dust in general. And it sat on here and it just was just like gritty to the touch. So then I was able to find my 4000 grit pad and I used that on everything, the whole car, and now we're gonna polish it up. And one thing that I wanted to throw out is this is not a paid promotion, but I got sent this Avrit, I don't know how you say it, Avrit, cordless polisher. So yeah, thanks to them for sending this out. We're gonna give it a try. Hopefully it works all right. And yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna use some compound. I always wanted a cordless polisher setup, so this is good. Comes with full battery charge, that's nice. So, okay, all right. That's level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wow, 6 levels. Sweet. We're gonna start off on 1 though. All right, sweet. Comes with a microfiber as well. I've got a couple different pad options here, and then another cut pad. So we're gonna start with the orange. I've got this complete compound, Meguiar's Ultimate Polish, and then I've got a bunch of 110, which is the heavy cut. Then I've got a 210, which is the Ultra Pro Finishing Polish. Then I have Mirror Glaze, Show Car Glaze. I don't know, it's number 7. And then I've got number 26, Yellow Wax. So I don't know what to use. I think maybe we try Ultra Pro Speed Compound. I'm actually gonna try this. Don't look. Awkward motions. I'm gonna try this Griot's Garage Complete Compound. Removes moderate below surface effects, restores gloss. Let's try this, and then if not, then we'll go the heavy cut situation. I've used this on a lot of stuff, so we'll try this first. How about that? I'm gonna put it on 1 to start. Just super light. And we're gonna bump it up though. Okay, I like this thing. Yeah, sweet. Avrit, yeah, amazing. This thing is awesome. It works really well. We polished up pretty nicely. I just hit this area in here. You can see the difference here. Swirl, no swirl. I'm obviously gonna like really clean it up and polish it way more once we get to the actual polish compound. But for now, this works really well. So let's keep on rocking and rolling here, guys. This is great. It's quiet too, y'all. It's super quiet. I like this thing. Look at how shiny we got it. Yep. Okay, I'm a fan. Thank you, Avrit, so much for sending this to me. I really appreciate you guys reaching out. Super, super nice. I've been wanting a cordless polisher for a while. I've had the corded one and it's a pain and it's heavy. This thing is light, it's quiet, and it's adjustable, and it's an orbital polisher. So amazing. We'll see how it holds up. I'm gonna keep rocking with it.
End of flashback.
All right, y'all, so let me fill you in with like where we left off. We got it running, but it wasn't running well. I reached out to the Facebook forums, and Alan over at Mustang Country International hit me up and was like, hey man, I can help. So I was like, great, I love Mustang Country, they're awesome. Big shout out to Carl and Alan over there. They really helped me out with this. They basically, I had it towed over to them and they went through everything, and it turns out the issue was it was running on 4 cylinders because I had the wrong wiring, basically the wrong spark plug wiring. So I had a different firing order that I was using. I was using the late 80s roller block firing order, and that was incorrect. It is an 88 block 5.0 302 roller, but it's a roller block with a 154 older 302 firing order. So a little tricky there, but he was able to figured it out in like 5 minutes and was like boom, 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 and had it running great, tuned up the carb a little bit for me. Then I went to go drive it home and it died on me halfway home in the middle of like Compton or something. And I was like, okay, no tools in the car. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Had it towed back to them. They looked everything over and they concluded that my fuel line was clogged or was clogging, and my fuel pump was going out, which is crazy because my fuel pump is brand new. I did not swap the line though when we did this restoration, as you guys can recall if you've watched the other videos. So I've got it back in the garage now, had it towed home. In the next video, I'm gonna replace the fuel line. I'm gonna also put on the neutral safety switch. I'm going to replace the fuel pump. I got a sponsorship as well from an awesome company that I'm gonna give a big shout out to on the next video, but we're gonna install a performance upgrade. So it should be pretty cool, give us some horsepower, also make the car, you know, just help it a bit. So I'm gonna put that on next time. But yeah, we're gonna pull out the exhaust to get the fuel line in. I got a new speedometer cable that I'm gonna put in because my speedometer is basically just going womp, 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 womp like that when I drive. We're almost there. It does run and drive, but not amazing because it needs a new fuel line and fuel pump. So once we do that, we should be good to go. Anyways, before this gets too long-winded, thank you guys so much for sticking along with me on this build. I know this has just been a long one, and I really, really appreciate all your support. We're so close. We're pretty much there. We're almost done. We got a few upgrades, few things left we need to do besides the front suspension, which that's a big one. And then on to the next project. So I'm going to take you guys along for the ride though, literally in this one with me, so you can see what it does, see what we did. We're going to go cruising. It's going to be great. Thank you so much for all your support, and I really appreciate it all. Y'all are awesome. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.